Hello, welcome to Anne Dale Homestead. I'm so glad that you're here. Today, I would like to thank Best Yet Journey. That's Lydia from Best Yet Journey for putting together a collaboration of cooking beans. The weather is changing, and what is better than a good pot of beans? So I want to show you how I have decided to cook some black beans and what I'm going to do with those beans. You guys stick around. Thank you for being here. The beans that I have decided to cook today are the black turtle beans. I'm just going to open this bag, put it in the bowl, cover it with water about to here, let it soak overnight in the refrigerator, and then we'll be back. So the beans have been soaking overnight underneath the water. I'm going to strain them right over here. Okay, and then we're going to rinse them a little bit. Just a little bit extra, and get ready to cook these black beans. Stick with me, this is going to be fun, y'all. What I'm going to do now is put these black beans in the pot. It's more than what I need, but I'm going to show you a couple of ways that we can cook them after we finish, or use them in recipes after we finish. Then you cover them with water, and you need to get them covered pretty well. I was told that it was like 10 cups of water per cup of beans, but I don't do that. I just fill them up until all of the beans are covered well. Okay, now we're going to turn them on pretty high to get them to start to boil. Also, when I've been making beans all my life, this is when I put all my spices in. I learned that's not what you do. You wait until they cook at least 30 minutes before you add any salt, because whenever I cooked dry beans, sometimes they were soft and sometimes the skins were hard. But I've learned that if you add your salt and your spices in at this time, it can make the skins tough. And we don't want our skins tough, we want our skins soft. So we're going to get this boiling and I'll bring you back. Once they've come to a boil, then you want it a low boil. You turn them down. I've got it down to just low on the stove. Tilt your pan a little bit and let them cook like that for about 30 minutes before you add your spice. So it's been our 30 minutes. Now time to add some spices to our beans. And they're not soft yet by any means. They still have an hour, or maybe even 2. You want to cook them until they're soft before they're ready to consume. But what I'm going to do is add, I have a teaspoon of salt. I'm putting in because I like salt. A half a teaspoon of this chili lime, the chili seasoning that I'm putting in. Aren't these cute? They're the little fruit cups that the kids ate out of. Then we're going to put a half a teaspoon of cumin. And I'm so excited about this part. My homemade garlic tops. I'm going to put those in there because I want to. And 3 garlic cloves that I've already cleaned. So we're going to put that in there and let it cook once again for an hour, maybe 2, something like that. And I'll bring you back. So as the beans are finishing up, I'm preparing a crock pot for what we're going to do with some of those beans. And this is just my normal old crock pot, but I do have a bag that covers the bottom of it. It makes cleanup so much easier. I'll show you what it looks like when I get it on there. So here we are. Once you get it on, I thought about tucking it in, but I think that's going to be too hot. And so when your lid goes on, it still seals well. And that's what we're going to be cooking these beans in next. While we're waiting for our beans to cook, I'm going to be making some more things that we can add our beans to in just a little bit. We have 4 chicken thighs I'm going to put in to the crock pot. Normally at this time you add a can of Rotel tomatoes, but I have my own home canned tomatoes that I'm putting in there. Just dump it all in the crock pot. A can of corn, 1 can of corn. And we're going to add this tub of cream cheese. I couldn't find the brick of cream cheese. Ooh, there's the top to the tomatoes, the stewed tomatoes. And I couldn't find the brick, but we found a tub of cream cheese. Then we're going to add some Italian seasoning, some Tony Chachery, and see how things go. So we have added our cream cheese right to the pot. We have added our Tony Chachery. We have added a package of Italian seasoning, and we're going to add these banana peppers that I got from the garden. I'm just putting them in there whole. Just putting them in there whole. And of course, you know, we saved the seeds, of course. And the piece de resistance is our black beans that are coming along. It's delicious. I almost forgot an important feature. We do have some red onions that I've cut up. We're going to put those in the pot too. Just a good little smorgasbord. Let's check in on our beans. It's been 5 hours. Just to be honest, I mean, you know, y'all don't want to do this unless you really know that you got the time to do it. And they're cooking away, but let's test them to be sure that they're ready. You take a spoonful of beans, put them in a saucer, and if you can mash them in half easily, then they're done. Now honestly, at this point, once the beans are done, you can stop right here at this point, have yourself a good old big old bowl of beans and top them with some cheese, and you're finished. So here we are, our beans in the bowl. Ooh, they're hot. I mean, they have been cooking for 5 hours. I added a little bit of shredded cheese, but with all those spices we put in there earlier, they should be delicious. Let's see. Oh gosh. They really are very good. So that's one way of cooking them and eating them. And the other is you can take these out and drain them. You can use them for refried beans in tacos. You can use them for beans even in salads. You can use them for beans in all kinds of things. So these black beans are really good. In fact, if I wanted to now, I could add some onion and some tomato right to this pot and make it a full meal with potatoes. And what we're going to do now is take a couple of cups of beans and add them to our other recipe, our cream cheese chicken recipe. This is going to be good. All right, now we have a couple of cups of our beans that are gathered in there. And get my little coffee cup that I've been drinking out of today, Lydia's coffee cup from Best Yet Journey. And we're going to add it to our meal in the crock pot, the cream cheese chicken. The chicken will just fall apart when it's ready. But let's add our beans to this. Yum, 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 yum. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's gonna be great. So when this is finished, we'll bowl some things up for you and let you see how everything looks. So now we're gonna get our second recipe with the black beans, and we're gonna get our rice out. That turned out nicely, didn't it? That rice turned out well. Now we're gonna get our cream cheese chicken recipe with the black beans. Top this rice. Let's see if I can do this with one hand, not make a mess. Ooh, yeah. There we go. And just because I really like the black beans, I'm gonna add a few more. Just right on top. Woo! Yummy! Thank you so much for coming to Homestead in the Colony. I'm Anne, and Lydia from Best Yet Journey. I really appreciate you including me in this bean collaboration where the weather is changing and we get to eat some yummy recipes. So thank you so much. You guys take care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye now.